Welcome back everyone, Anurudya. Hope you guys are all good and taking care of yourselves. So guys, in today's explainer video, we're gonna be decoding the puzzle that's crucial for any online advertiser or marketer, which is Facebook ad metrics. Now, what are these numbers, why they matter, and why should you care? We're gonna be delving deep and unraveling those mysteries in this video, so stay tuned till the end because I have a bonus metric for you, which will actually give you a better perspective on how to analyze your ad performance and campaign performance. So stay tuned till the end, and now without further ado, let's jump right into it. But before diving into the 5 ad metrics which are the most important for you to track if you're marketing online, first let's discuss what ad metrics are and how they perform or how they influence your online marketing. So ad metrics are the lifeblood of any Facebook and Instagram marketing campaign. They provide insights into the performance of your ads. Facebook provides a number of parameters which you can use to assess the performance of your ads, some more important and some less important. So you need to be very careful which metrics you actually decide to observe and decide to use to change things in your campaign, be it creatives, be it targeting and all those things. So you need to be very careful which ad metrics you're analyzing and which ad metrics you're using to make changes in your ad campaign. These ad metrics also provide insights into how users are engaging with your content and how you can better the customer experience or the user experiencing while going through your customer funnel. So in this video, we're going to be discussing the 5 most important ad metrics which you need to keep an eye out for and use to actually make changes to your ad campaigns, thus improving your performance and getting you better results. Starting with frequency. This metric shows how often your ad is being viewed by a unique individual. If your ad frequency is 2.5, then that means that your ad is being viewed by an average person 2 to 3 times. Now, obviously, you can get frequency in decimals. The reason for that is Facebook calculates frequency based on a calculation which you get by dividing the total number of impressions that you got on your ad by the number of unique visitors that you got on your ad. So, for example, if you got 10,000 impressions on your ad and there were 5,000 unique visitors, then dividing those 10,000 by 5,000, you get 2, which is your ad frequency in this case, which means that an average person from your audience is seeing your ad 2 times. Now, it could be more for some people and it could be less for some people, but on average, the number of times a unique individual is seeing your ads is 2. Now, why is frequency so important when you're marketing online? Well, frequency simply shows if you're experiencing the thing known as ad fatigue or not. Now, I'm not going to be diving deep into what ad fatigue is in this video, as I've already discussed in depth in one of my previous videos what ad fatigue is and how you can take measures against it and how you can improve the campaign performance if you are experiencing ad fatigue. So if you want to learn more about that, definitely go check out that video. The link will be down in the description. Now, with that said, let's move on to the second metric, which is CTR or click-through rate. Now, this is an important metric because it shows the effectiveness of your ad's call to action. It simply shows you what percentage of people who actually saw your ad ended up clicking on it. For example, let's say if your ad was viewed by 10,000 people and 500 decided to click on it, then your CTR in this case would be 5%, which you can easily get by dividing 500 by 10,000 and multiplying it by 100. That is 5%. Now, let's come to why CTR is important. Well, CTR simply tells you how your top of the funnel is performing and where you need to actually make changes in your ad campaign's funnel to see better results. For example, if you're getting low CTRs, then it simply means that people are not resonating with your ads and you need to improve your CTR. Then people will jump into the middle of your funnel, that is your landing page. And there are other metrics to assess the performance of your middle of the funnel, which I might discuss in some other video. But CTR simply tells you the performance of the top of your funnel and how you can actually improve it to see better results. Now, what do I mean by improve your CTR? Well, if you're let's say in an e-commerce industry, then there is a benchmark for your particular industry depending on the price of your products as well as the market in which you're selling in. And you need to find that benchmark by studying or analyzing the market and studying your competitors and try to at least get your CTR to that benchmark so that you can actually compete with them. Now, benchmark varies for different industries as well as even in industries. It depends on a multitude of other factors such as pricing of the product and the reach as well as the marketing that you're doing other than Facebook and Instagram. And there are a multitude of factors. So I'm not going to give you a fixed benchmark which you can follow. But if you are in a particular industry, then you need to be doing thorough research and understanding what the benchmark is for your industry in your niche. Now the third ad metric which is very important for you to track is conversion rates. Now this one is a very important metric to track. It simply shows you the number of people or the percentage of people who actually ended up clicking on your ad and took the desired action that you wanted them to take. For example, if you wanted them to make a purchase, then they ended up making a purchase or booking a reservation or registering as a lead for your business. So it simply shows you the percentage of people who took the desired action that you wanted them to take. For example, let's pick up where we left off with our example in click-through rates. That is, if 10,000 people viewed your ad and 500 ended up clicking on it, then your CTR is 5%. Now, of those 500, 10 people actually ended up buying your product or whatever desired action you wanted them to take, ended up taking it. Now, in this case, the conversion rate for your business or for this ad campaign ends up being 2%. And you can simply get it by dividing 10 by 500 into 100. Now, why is conversion rate important? You might have gotten a pretty good idea based on just my explanation that is a very crucial metric that you need to be tracking. But other than that, it also shows the effectiveness of your entire ad campaign as a whole, and you should be keeping a track of it, and you should be trying to improve your conversion rate percentages as much as you can, depending on the benchmark for your particular industry. Now, again, I'm not going to give you a fixed number for the benchmark for your industry, as it can vary depending on a multitude of factors, and you need to do a thorough market research and competitor analysis to understand what the benchmark for your particular industry and niche is. So with that said, let's move on to the fourth ad metric, which is CPC or cost per click. Now, this is simply the amount you pay to Facebook whenever somebody ends up clicking on your ad. That is a cost per click. It is a very important metric to track. For example, if you spend $1,000 on a campaign and got 200 clicks, then your CPC in that case ends up being 5 rupees. Why? Because you need to divide the amount you spent on your budget by the total number of clicks you got. That is 1000 divided by 200, and that would be 5 in this case. Now you need to keep track of it and try to make it as minimum as possible as per your industry and niche, because it basically shows the effectiveness of your budget or how effectively your budget is being used by Facebook. And the lower you can get your CPC to be, the more effective your budget is for that particular ad campaign, and more people actually see your ad and end up clicking on your ad for less bucks. So CPC is a very important metric, and it is very vital to make it as minimum as possible as per your industry and niche. So with that said, let's move on to the fifth ad metric, which is the most important to track, and which is ROAS or return on ad spends. Now, a lot of people consider ROAS as the holy grail of your ad campaign, because ROAS measures the amount of money you make for each and every rupee that you spend on your ad. For example, if you spend $1,000 on your ad campaign and end up making 5,000, then the ROAS for that particular campaign would end up being 5, and your returns would end up being 500%. So ROAS is very important to track, as it basically boils down and tells you the end result of your spending of your budget on your ad campaigns, and gives you a better idea of how much money you're making by spending each and every rupee that you're spending in your budget on your ad campaigns. So if you're still watching, then as promised in the beginning, I'll be giving you a very valuable insight that will come in handy whenever you're marketing online, as it has helped me a lot. And it is basically looking beyond the surface, that is looking beyond what ROAS is telling you or return on ad spend is telling you. We have seen campaigns in which we got a ROAS of above 5 and still ended up making a loss on that. The reason for that, we got a lot of returns for that particular ad campaign. So don't consider ROAS as your net profitability. It basically shows what Facebook is registering as a desired action or as a purchase on your website. For example, if you're spending $1,000 on an ad and you end up selling products worth 5,000, then you ended up making, according to Facebook, a ROAS of 5. And let's say each of your product costs $1,000, so you ended up selling 5 products. But let's say 4 of those customers wanted to return your product because they didn't like the quality or for whatever issue. Then you'll have to schedule a pickup for those customers. So those 4 people ended up returning your product to you, and your net or effective ROAS ends up being 1. That is, you spent $1,000 to get sale of $1,000. But it is still not the net profitability, because in most cases you have to schedule the pickup from your customers, and thus you will end up bearing the logistic cost as well. And let's say it's $200 for each product, then that adds up to $800. So from the 1,000 that you made, you actually spent 1,000 to make 1,000, and from the 1,000 that you made, you ended up spending 800 on the logistics for picking up the return parcels of your 4 customers. So what is your net profitability in this case? not considering a multitude of other factors. I'm just giving you a base net profitability for this particular case. In this case, it would be you spent $1,000 and you got just $200 back in your profit. That is, you made a loss of minus $800. So understanding that ROAS is definitely the holy grail and you should keep a track of it, but understanding that it is not the net profitability, and you need to be calculating net profitability at the same time and understanding the user behavior, how many returns you're getting or how many people are actually not satisfied with your product and all those things, and making a informed and wise decision based on those metrics will help you increase your profitability. ROAS is definitely a number which gives you a good idea of how people are responding to your product, but the retention of the customers that are actually purchasing from you is more important, since if from those customers 70% end up making a return, then your entire ad spend would be for naught and you wouldn't end up making a profit at all and you would end up in a loss. So there you have it, guys, the top 5 most important Facebook ad metrics that you need to keep an eye on whenever you're marketing on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you learned something new and got something valuable from this video. If you did, then definitely be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, as well as leave your thoughts or experiences down in the comment section. I'll be sure to read them and respond to them. So with that said, keep on grinding, keep on marketing, and keep on getting better and better results from your ads. I'll see you in the next one.